This place must be amazing. The crowd itself is the best advertisement in the world. But what if you pulled out your phone and saw the restaurant had mediocre reviews? A conflict arises in your mind. Why does the physical presence of a crowd feel more convincing than the data right in front of you? Imagine this common scenario. You're traveling in a new city, feeling hungry and unsure where to eat. You walk down a street and see two cafes side by side. One is modern and clean, but completely empty. The other looks almost identical, but it's buzzing with activity. People are chatting, and there's a small line at the counter. Without a second thought, you and almost everyone else would head for the busy cafe. We instinctively believe that the group of people inside knows something we don't. Their presence is a signal of quality and safety. This happens everywhere, not just with restaurants. It's the bestseller sticker on a book, the product with 10,000 five-star reviews, or the viral video that everyone in your feed is sharing. We follow the tracks left by others. This powerful, automatic tendency is a psychological principle known as social proof. It's one of the most reliable mental shortcuts our brains use to navigate the world. When we are uncertain how to act, we look to the behavior of others to guide our own decisions. We assume that if a lot of people are doing something, it must be the correct thing to do. This instinct is not a modern flaw. It's an ancient survival mechanism. For our ancestors living in tribes, conforming to the group was a matter of life and death. If everyone in your tribe suddenly started running, you wouldn't stop to investigate the cause. You would run with them. Doubting the group could get you left behind or eaten by a predator. Today, the dangers are different, but our brains are still running on that same old software. The modern world is our new wilderness, and the actions of the digital crowd are the new signals we follow for safety. Marketers, advertisers, and tech companies understand this instinct better than anyone. They design experiences that leverage social proof to influence what you buy, what you believe, and what you do. When you see a claim like, over 1 million satisfied customers, your brain doesn't question it. It translates it into a simple message. This is a safe and popular choice. Bartenders and baristas will often seed their tip jars with a few bills at the start of their shift. An empty jar suggests no one is tipping, but a jar with money in it provides social proof that tipping is the expected behavior. Even the laugh tracks on old sitcoms are a form of social proof. Researchers found that audiences rate jokes as funnier when they are accompanied by canned laughter because it signals that other people find it funny. The internet has put social proof on steroids. Likes, shares, follower counts, and reviews create a massive, visible record of the crowd's behavior, making it more influential than ever. We see a product with an overwhelming number of positive ratings, and our critical thinking shuts down. We trust the sheer volume of the crowd over our own careful assessment. But there is a dark side to this. The crowd is not always wise. Sometimes, the crowd is simply a herd, following the first person who started walking in a random direction. This phenomenon is known as herd mentality. It describes how individuals in a group can act collectively without any centralized plan, often leading to irrational outcomes. Think of stock market bubbles. People pour money into an asset not because they've analyzed its fundamental value, but simply because its price is going up and everyone else is buying it. They are following the social proof of the rising price and the actions of other investors. When the sentiment changes, the same herd mentality causes everyone to rush for the exit at once. Relying too heavily on social proof causes us to outsource our thinking. We stop trusting our own judgment and instead place our faith in the anonymous and often uninformed wisdom of the crowd. So how can you tell when the crowd is a wise guide and when it's a blind herd? The key is to understand the specific conditions that make us most vulnerable to its influence. The psychologist Robert Cialdini, who first popularized the term, identified two situations where social proof is most potent: uncertainty and similarity. First, when we are uncertain about a situation, we are far more likely to look to others for answers. Choosing a restaurant in a new city is a classic example of this uncertainty. Second is the principle of similarity. We are influenced most not by just any crowd, but by a crowd of people we perceive to be just like us. This is why a testimonial from a 45-year-old mom from Ohio is more persuasive to other moms from the Midwest than a testimonial from a celebrity. We see ourselves in them, and their choices feel more relevant. To master this part of your decision-making, you don't need to reject the crowd entirely. You just need to introduce a moment of deliberate pause before you follow it. In that moment, ask yourself one critical question. Is this crowd acting on independent knowledge, or are they just copying each other? Seek out the original information, not just the echo of popularity. The crowd can point you towards something wonderful, but true wisdom isn't just following the crowd. It's knowing when to step away and walk your own path.